I got mainly B's, A's, C's, everything. I got A star in English, so that was nice.
Okay.
Mainly A's, B's and C's, but there are like 3 ones which I don't pass, so I'm not going to go into too much detail about that.
Okay.
I got 3 A stars, 2 A's and 5 B's.
Oh, we're doing all the results kind of thing.
Yeah, sure.
Alright, why not? I got, including like a double C for English and double C for science, I got 9 C's, a D and an E. Don't waste time, make the most of it, because I'm sure Miss probably agrees. I was one of these people that just potter about each lesson. Yeah, you know. I just get by every lesson sometimes. And that was no good for when it, came to needing all the coursework to be in, because I didn't have much done and it was a manic rush. Yeah, I got it all done, but it wasn't to the standard that I could have achieved. And I could have done better, but I didn't, because I wasted my time in lesson. And when you sat there with the class and the teacher, whether it be Miss or whoever, is going over something, and you think, I don't understand that, you don't want to ask the question because you think, oh, I'm an absolute idiot, I'm the only one that's not going to get this, and you feel a little bit nervous. Don't worry about that, because it's your GCSE at the end of the day. If other people think you're stupid for answering a question that they've got like that, who cares? It's your GCSE, you've got a question, you ask.
Yeah, and the thing is, once you go on study leave, you won't have the teachers there to ask the stupid questions. So just ask them all as soon as you could email them. You could go see them in break or lunch or after a lesson. Yeah, at the beginning, whatever.
Okay.
And then slowly built up the amount I did, so it started off about an hour and a half, and then by May it was at least 4 hours. But you don't want to do it straight, you want to give yourself some breaks.
Okay.
So with me, I do 2 hours, half-hour break, have some lunch, do another 2 hours,
Okay.
and then just keep on going from there.
And how did you cope with revising for the mocks in November? Oh no,
To
be honest.
To be honest, I didn't really treat them as seriously as I did my GCSEs.
Not at all.
So, I mean, you don't really want to not revise for your mocks. You do want to do some revision, maybe like an hour a night at least.
When you get to the actual exams, you'll realise that they're actually more important than just mocks, and you'll kind of.
To get a representation of how much you're revising and how that correlates to what kind of grade you're going to get.
So I get a general idea of what it's going to be like.
And it gives you an idea of where you are, because if you're revising a certain style and then you come to the exam, and you get an E in the mock, you can think to yourself, right, well this method of revision clearly isn't working because I've got an E in the mock, so perhaps I need to try another method of revising.
Okay.
But also consolidate your knowledge as you go along. Don't wait to do it all at the end. Do bits. When you finish a unit, at the end of that unit, go back through the unit. Read up on the stuff. Consolidate all your knowledge as you're going along. It's much better. It's time effective as well.
And answering past paper exam questions can be really good because it actually gives you a sense of what you're going to be doing.
Where do you find those?
They're all over the VLE. You can just search them on Google. They're everywhere.
On the AQA website.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Gimo is a really good thing. It's an app that you can get on your phone or your tablet or whatever. Go Gimo. I'm not going to spell it for you.
This is not a paid advertorial.
No, but it's really good. It's because you're all glued onto your phones and whatnot these days, and it's something on your phone that you can use. So Go Gimo is really good.
I recommend if you're doing languages,
Yes.
to always write down, if you're doing a speech, say, to write down what you're speaking about and go over that. And it may sound kind of basic, but the sort of look, write, cover, check system of various processes. And at the end, to be honest, we can all recommend stuff, but it's what works for you. Because if you're going to get told by one teacher that this is what you should do and another this is what you should do, if you feel pressured, don't worry, just do what you enjoy. And if it works to remember it, then use it. Don't worry about
just
do your own
times.
thing.
Yeah.
Find
Okay.
what's best for you and stick with it.
Sounds sad, but I spent a lot of time on Memorise.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah,
for
that's good for
languages.
Yeah, really
If you
good for
take a
languages.
language, do
Definitely,
go on Memorise.
100%.
It'll completely change it for you because it's so
Mm.
it's on your phone. So if you're one of those kids that likes to spend a lot of time on your phone, it's there, it's
Yeah.
perfect, it's convenient.
Shout
And
out to
it's-
Bennett's for that.
Yeah, thanks Mr. Bennett.
And I think also the English faculty are using that quite a lot at the moment.
Yeah.
it covers all subjects. There's courses on anything and everything, and even if there's not something that's completely like specific for what you want, you can make your own and like put in the information that you know
Yeah.
like that you'll need
Yeah.
and teach it to yourself in a way.
I don't know, I've said a lot, but I will say one
Yeah.
thing. You know, people say, oh yeah, revising groups is good and all that. If you're one of those people who'll get into a group and will muck about for an hour, don't do it because it's a waste of your time. But if you can get into a group and you know, and actually revise and get stuff done, do it, because if you don't know it and you haven't got it written down,
Yeah.
someone else might know it.
I'd
And then it
recommend-
tests
yeah.
their knowledge as well.
I'd recommend getting your parents to go over it as well.
Yeah.
So it doesn't, you know, for me, I did it with languages, but you could do it with pretty much anything. And they don't have to be good at the subject you're doing, as long as they know the facts and they can ask you questions about it maybe when you're least expecting it. Say like over dinner or when you get home from school, then that will help to sink in stuff, because the more you talk about something, the more that your brain engages with it, then the more likely you are to actually take the information and store it for the exam.
Yeah, sort of like on a similar note, if you're doing a subject one day, like once you've learned it, leave it for a week and then go back to it, see if you still remember it. And
Yeah.
I did that, helped quite a lot. So just review it constantly.
Repetition.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Lots of
papers.
repetition.
Past papers.
Past
Past
papers
way.
are good.
Yeah.
Really good actually.
Video games.
Have a nap.
You know.
Thinking,
Yeah, you want to get enough sleep, because if you don't have enough sleep, you're going to feel like, well, you're going to feel really bad.
Don't.
You're going to be grumpy. It's just,
Yeah.
doesn't help.
Eat's good because
Stay-
if you skip
stay
a meal,
hydrated
yeah,
as well.
if you skip a meal or don't drink, then you're just gonna feel exhausted and completely not motivated to actually do the work.
I mean, even if you're just snacking every
Yeah.
5 minutes, even if it's just like a chocolate bar or something.
Just make
that's
sure you
good.
have something.
don't leave the revision until like 9 o'clock, 8
Don't
o'clock.
leave it too
Just
late,
do it when you get home and then it'll be
I
over.
mean,
Like,
You don't want to start too early and you don't want to go till too late.
Yeah.
So for me, it was usually 11 or 12 till about 4 or 5 with the break in between. So
On a Saturday.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
on the week. On the week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Memory as well. So if you've got, let's say, you take a language or you know you've got a music block, and you go through some of the material that night, you know, with the lavender in the air, when you go to sleep, you're more likely to remember more of it because lavender is like closely linked to remembering stuff in your memory.
Also, a lot of people might disagree with me on this one, but I found it really good to like exercise in between. Like, if you get home and you're like, I don't really want to revise just yet, like I'd go on a run because like exercise releases endorphins, which will actually put you in a better mood to then go on and revise. I know a lot of people probably won't agree with that, but for those that do it.
If you have a dog, take the dog
Yeah,
for a
take
walk.
it out for a
Yeah.
walk.
Yeah.
Another thing I did is whenever I was revising, find a quiet space.
Mm.
Just try, if you're revising, let everyone know, don't disturb you unless you want them to like test you or something. So find a quiet space away from everyone.
That doesn't mean go up to your room and play on your console.
No, it doesn't mean that.
No.
No.
And like doing that actually was quite a nice like release from revising for hours every day.
I mean,
So keep up your hobbies, don't let it completely control your life.
yeah, I mean, I had hockey every Wednesday. You know, you have like an hour and a half gap between school and hockey. So even if it's just like half an hour, it's better than nothing.
Just jump
late
into
for that,
it.
but-
Jump into it.
Take-
Just do it.
Yeah.
You know, grab hold and don't let go. Just jump into it.
I'd say take the mocks slightly more seriously because a lot of our year just didn't think they were anything at all. But I think if we'd actually thought, okay, I actually need to try at these, we might have all started revising earlier and had that base knowledge already. And if you want, you can always, like I did this with French, I just went right back to the basics, like the stuff we learned in like year 7 and 8, and went through that, and it kind of motivated me to do the rest because it's like, oh, this is easy, and then slowly build up how hard it is and get to the tough stuff towards the end.
I'm taking psychology, law, and media studies.
I'm doing 4 A levels and an EPQ. I am doing maths, further maths, French, and geography.
She likes maths.
I do like maths.
I'm doing 3 A levels with an EPQ, so I'm doing maths, IT, and business studies.
I'm doing geography, psychology, and physics with an EPQ.